Mini Mermaids is an after-school program. It's all about empowerment of girls. It's all about leading a healthy lifestyle. And it's all about what you're capable of doing as a woman, as a girl. And if exercise is your thing, great. If fitness is your thing, great. But if not, it's just it's a doorway to lots of other things.
Mini Mermaid Running Club, it's an after-school program for girls. 6 weeks. They go through 12 different sessions. At the end of the 6 weeks, they do a 5K. So throughout the 6 weeks, they're going to be working their way towards that 5K. But wrapped inside those 6 weeks are principles about value, worth, empowerment, learning how to use your own voice.
And our curriculum is designed to walk girls through these 6 different regions of their body. So we look at their head the first week, and it's all about your thoughts and the things that influence your thoughts, whether it's family, friends, community, media. We look at how those influences impact how we think about ourselves, and then we start to ask questions about why we're allowing those things to impact how we feel about who we are. And then we move on to the heart, which is all about your emotions, how you feel, how you communicate with people in your world, in your life, and to start to say what you want, what it is that you need, and not be afraid to ask for it. We talk about the belly, which is all about nutrition. We talk about the hands, which is about being a part of something bigger than yourself. That community is really what it can empower us and help us be the strongest individual we can be. So we spend a lot of time talking about our community and what we can give to our community as an individual. We talk about legs, which is all about setting goals for yourself, whether it's I want to go to college, I want to run the fastest 5K I've ever run, I want to do really well on my math test, whatever it might be. We set goals using the legs as our foundation. And then the feet is all about how we put those goals into action. How do we get to where we want to go with the skills that we have?
We base the stories off of these 2 characters. We know that girls and women, and maybe everybody, needs to have something outside of themselves that they can look towards. That's why we love superheroes or movies with great characters that we can just fall into. So we've got these 2 characters, Mini Mermaid and Siren. Mini Mermaid represents truth. She represents the things that maybe aren't perfect, but they're honest. And we sometimes can hear her voice, but another voice can drown it out, and that's Siren's voice. And so all of our curriculum, we have 4 curriculums, they're based off of these 2 characters. So throughout the 6 weeks, the girls learn that inside of themselves are both Mini Mermaid and Siren. We always have truth and lies inside of us. And we can't pretend we don't have one or the other. We have to acknowledge that we have both. And so we give girls tools to understand how they can hear Mini Mermaid's voice louder. That's what it comes down to. Because no matter who we are, no matter where we live, no matter what our circumstances, we're going to hear things and see things that are going to distract us and keep us from moving forward. So with Mini Mermaid Running Club, we come on to campuses and schools over the course of 6 weeks with teachers as the coaches, volunteers from the community as coaches. They work together for 12 sessions. Each session's about an hour and a half. They work on the head, the heart, hands, belly, legs, and feet. Inside those weeks are different concepts about empowerment is one of our curriculums. How do you use your own voice? Another curriculum we have is about value and worth. We look at the problems that the girls are facing when they're teenagers, where do we lose them? And we wrote curriculum to respond to those problems. So value and worth, identifying that you do matter. The 3rd curriculum is all about your words. We teach the girls within the structure of those 6 weeks the power of their words and how they are so important, how they can be destructive or they can be life-giving. And the 4th one is all about your tribe. What happens when you choose the friends that you have? Who you become, where you can lose yourself, and then on the other side, how you can bring strength to a community because of the people that you surround yourself with. So we've got these 4 different curriculums that the girls can work through as they go through grade school, maybe starting in 2nd grade, ending in 5th grade, and then going into middle school, they start all over again because they're a whole different person in middle school.
It's not just a running club, and that's what sets it apart. It is a whole curriculum and way of being in the world that is foundational for girls. Girls right now in the world come up against so much in terms of body image, self-esteem, and just being a good female. And Mini Mermaids really works on the athletic piece of everything as well as on the social emotional aspect of being a female in today's society. So as a school administrator, the value that I've found in the Mini Mermaids program is beyond anything I really could ever calculate. there are so many times that children can't learn because they have so many emotional blocks come up. And many of the girls that have gone through Mini Mermaids, knowing them, looking at the before and after picture has been so significant, where prior they didn't really have the social skills to deal with playground issues, to deal with frustration in their classrooms when they weren't understanding a concept, to deal with even discipline, positive discipline in and of itself. And watching that transformation, they learn those social skills necessary to be successful, to be a successful person, to be a successful student. And therefore a whole lot less problems come floating into my office off the playground because of that. And also we're offering them something that school no longer really has time for, with the acceleration of the academic process, that counseling funds are no longer available. We don't have counselors here at the school. Time for social skill building has been reduced to a huge extent. So having this piece that's offered outside of the school day is an incredible support for what can take place in the classroom each day.
We see transformation all the time. We hear stories of Mini Mermaid and Siren and the acknowledgement that they're both there. A teacher that's been a coach for quite a few sessions was walking through the office at her school, and a little girl who's a Mini Mermaid, had been a Mini Mermaid about 6 months prior. Their session had been done for a while, was sitting on the bench. Puffy face, her eyes were all red, swollen, and the teacher just sits down, she's got a box of strawberries, and she just silently starts sharing the strawberries. And the little girl's doing that. And finally the coach says, "What's going on?" And the little girl looks up to her and says, "Just a lot of Siren stuff." And when the teacher told me that story, I realized they get it. They understand that sometimes there's just messy stuff and it hurts. Another story that is showing that this door is open to anybody is a young girl down in Tijuana, Mexico. Her name's Rebecca, and she'd been watching the team practice through her window, and she has cerebral palsy and is in a wheelchair and has a walker. And she begged her mom, "Please just go ask him if I can do it, please, please, please." And the mom said, "It's a running club, you cannot do it." And she finally said, "Okay, I'm gonna go ask, but they're probably gonna say no." And she walked across the street and asked our coach, "Is it possible that Rebecca, I know the answer's probably no, but could she do the running club?" And the coach said, "Of course she can. We'll push her. We'll carry her, whatever it takes." So they did their race, and Rebecca, they're pushing her all along the way because it's 5 kilometers, it's a pretty long distance. And they get about 100 yards from the finish line, and Rebecca says, "Stop." And she's this tiny little thing, the tiniest little thing. "Stop, I want out, I wanna walk." And so the coaches grab her on either side and they walk her across that finish line. And you would have thought she won the Olympics, that she was the title winner of everything in the universe, all the pride and the accomplishment that was there for her. Just the other day, I was talking to a mother, and she looked at me with tears in her eyes, and she said, "I show up every single practice to watch my daughter because 3 years ago, she had spinal cancer, and they said to her, 'You may not walk again and you'll never run again.'" And her daughter comes up and says, "Mom, take this, I've gotta go run." And whether that girl becomes a runner or runs track and field, that's not what this is about. It's about her deciding and hearing from herself inside her own mind, but also from her friends and her peers and from her mentors, her teachers, that she matters, that you just try. And even if it isn't perfect, that you just try, because what will happen when you try is what matters most. And then it doesn't even stop there. It goes to the moms that are hanging out watching the girls practice, and they see their girls say things like, "I'm strong enough. I'm fast enough for me. I'm fast enough to do what I want to do. And I'm not going to listen to Siren anymore. She's full of lies. And I'm going to listen to Mini Mermaid because she's truth." Those moms start to say, "How can I be a part of this? How can I begin to understand that I have value and I have worth?" And we ended up creating Mama Mermaids, where these moms come and they work out alongside the girls, and whether they have curriculum or not, the idea that we say to them, no matter who you are or what you look like or what you've done before or what you bring to the table, it's enough. Just come and show up. And now those moms, still 3 years later, are training together, and a coach has come out of that, and she's gonna go and train at other schools and bring women in that are typically on the margin, that sit out of life because they feel like they're supposed to. are now fully engaged and making different choices in their life. They're choosing to live life fully. When they walk across the finish line and everyone around them applauds and screams and yells and they get a medal wrapped around their neck, they discover in that moment that the finish line is just the beginning.
Aaliyah Martinez from Gilroy, 9 years old, stomping out her finish line from the Mini-Mermaid Running Club. 6 weeks of training, all leading up today, learning how to stand up for themselves, use their voice, and find out that the finish line is just the beginning.
Great job, Mini Mermaids. All smiles. Look at those girls coming across the finish line.
What did you learn in Mini Mermaids?
I learned that not everything's hard. Like, you could make your goals in life. If you believe in yourself, you could do it.
To never give up and to go on your own pace. It helps you stay fit, and then it helps you feel like really happy about it.
I learned that if you do something good, it'll come back to you and you'll be even a better person.
Why should other people do Mini Mermaids?
I think other people should do Mini Mermaids because you learn new things, you make new friends, and you get encouraged for things that you want to accomplish.
So is this the ending?
No, the finish line is just the beginning.
The finish line, the end?
No.
What is it?
It's just the beginning.
Yeah.
You start to think, if I can do this, what else can I do? And that's what it's all about. It's this idea that the finish line is just the beginning. We say, here's this thing, like I said, that's bigger than you, and you get past it, now what can you do?
Occasionally, there is an random offering from an outside agency wanting to come in and do a body image presentation, but that's something that might last 60 minutes, whereas the Mini Mermaid curriculum and life skill building create something that has lasted a lifetime for these girls and will.
I think what makes us unique is that we're also targeting girls in communities that don't have a lot of access to programming or sports or athletics or other programs that are going to teach them to value who they are as individuals. So we're really looking at those girls, those communities, in order to expand our program and reach those that really need it.
It's in our school plan. It's in our school accountability report card that goes online that anyone can see. So it's something that that's a big focus for me and basically a selling point for my school. That this is an awesome thing that you can experience if you come to Del Mar School. This program has provided something that we haven't been able to give until it was created.
The girls that I come across, even on the playground, that won't have the chance to experience someone telling her that she is good and she is enough and she's strong. That breaks my heart.
It's changing people's lives because it's giving them a chance to find out that even though they're broken, even though they're messy, even though they're not perfect according to whoever standards we've decided we're measuring, that they can do incredible things.
I want to be a better person. I want to inspire more people to decide to change it, and I want to them they feel when I'm just do the exercise, it's not just good for you, just for you just can looks better, you just can looks great, but how you feel in your heart when you do the exercise, when you run, you just need to feel free.
Mini Mermaids is about giving every girl a chance to live her best life and to be the best human being that she's capable of being. And if you believe in that mission, then we want you on our team.